And this is Somerset House, originally built to serve as the residence for the Dukes and Earls of Somerset. They never got to live inside the building, however, as they were found to be traitors to the crown and executed. The building today serves as the headquarters for one of the largest criminal enterprises in the capital, the headquarters for HMRC, the tax haven. Take a look over to the right hand side here, folks, and we have a large concrete structure with an illuminated sign, the National Theatre, comprised of 3 separate theatres. The largest is the 1400-seater Lord Olivier Theatre, which is named after the building's founder, Lord Olivier. Unsurprisingly, the National Theatre has been rated by leading architects to be one of the ugliest buildings in the capital. King Charles once described the building as resembling the back end to a nuclear power station, so clearly not very impressed. We take a look over on the left where we can see a large white boat with a cream funnel. And this is the Wellington, once a sloop, as part of the Royal New Zealand Navy, active throughout the Second World War. She was then decommissioned, brought onto the Thames, where she served as the host for the Honourable Company of Past Master Mariners, a floating drinking hall for retired sea captains. The president of the club was Prince Philip, the former Duke of Edinburgh, of course our late Queen's husband. He would end up passing away back in 2020. Look to the stern end of the Wellington, the back of the boat here. We can see a large stone archway in amongst the trees. This is the Temple Gate, the official dividing boundary between 2 cities. The city of Westminster, which we've just left, and the 1 square mile city of London that we're now entering. Now, London itself is one of the smallest capital cities in the world, covering an area of 1 square mile, and it extends from the Temple Gates along the north side of the river down to Tower Bridge. The surrounding areas around the city of London, this is all referred to as Greater London. That's the area surrounded by a large circular motorway we call the M25. Take a look here on the right hand side, a large red brick building with a tall stone spire and the glass letters OXO. This is the OXO Tower, the former headquarters and factory for the OXO company, the gravy stock cube manufacturers. Every night a red light will shine in the tower. The word OXO can be seen all across the banks of the river, effectively advertising the company's products. But you're not allowed to do this on the Thames, folks. The river is deemed the Royal Highway and has incredibly strict advertisement laws. Due to these strict advertising laws, a lengthy court battle took place over the building. The OXO company would end up winning this battle. Today their building is Grade 2 listed. It can never legally be demolished. The exterior must remain unchanged. No longer a factory today though, however. The bottom section of the building is a variety of different shops. The middle, unaffordable luxury riverside facing apartments. The top floor is a 5-star Harvey Nichols restaurant. Take a look on the left hand side, a white building with a green roof and spire. The site for the old City of London School for Boys, a very famous school in the capital. Lots of our former Prime Ministers were educated in the building. Prime Ministers such as Sir Anthony Eaton, Lloyd George, and even our own wartime Prime Minister, Sir Winston Spencer Churchill. If you look to the front of the building, between the 5 archway windows, you'll see figures carved into the stonework. Some of England's most notable scholars: John Milton, Francis Bacon, Sir Isaac Newton, and William Shakespeare. Ahead of us we have Blackfriars Road Bridge, opened by Queen Victoria in 1869. She requested that the support columns to this bridge were to be built to resemble church pulpits, and that was to commemorate the old Dominican monastery of Black Friars, which used to lie on the left many years ago. The monks who inhabited the monasteries, they wore black habits, which is where the nickname, the Black Friars, is said to have originated from. As we pass through the bridge though, folks, if you do take a look on either side of the boats, we have 8 red support columns, and these are the remains of the Alexandra St Paul's Railway Bridge, designed by the Victorian engineer Sir Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and this once supported the Chatham-Dover railway lines. The top half of the bridge became unstable in the late 80s and was demolished. The support columns, they still remain to this day, as there's no viable way of safely removing them. And we're just passing through the Blackfriars Railway Bridge now. As we come through this bridge, take a look. Over to the right, we have the area of Bankside on the south bank of the River Thames, mostly arts and entertainment today. But back during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, this was the red light district of London. Over here you would have found bear baiting pits, cockfighting pits, riverside taverns, theatres, and houses and dens of ill repute, all built on land owned by the Bishop of Winchester. The large brick building with the tall chimney stack, this is the site for the old Bankside Power Station, now the home of the Tate Modern Art Gallery, which is completely free to enter for members of the public, and that might tell you a little bit about some of the exhibits that they show you inside. If, however, you prefer more traditional art, over on our left here, a lovely view of the light grey dome and golden cross of St Paul's Cathedral, standing 365 feet tall. Foundations to the building are only 4 feet deep, and that was designed by the architect Sir Christopher Wren, who took over 35 years to build, finishing construction back in 1710. There's a viewing gallery on the top of the cathedral, at the top of the dome there. To go up there, you must be willing to climb over 400 stairs. We have the Millennium Footbridge just ahead of us, designed by an architect called Sir Norman Foster. This is the famous bridge that in London on opening day was unstable. Too many people on the bridge, it violently shook from side to side like a rope bridge in the jungle. Earning the bridge's nickname, the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge, costed a further £5 million to stabilise. It's quite safe to cross today. Through the bridge and to the right there, you can see a white circular building with the oak beams and thatching on the roof. That's a replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre, built largely by the efforts of an American film producer called Sam Wanamaker back in 1997. It was always his life dream to have Shakespeare's Globe be rebuilt in London. He unfortunately never lived to see his dream come true. He would pass away before the project could be completed. Taken over and finished by his daughter Zoe, she would scatter his ashes throughout the stage during the opening ceremony. You can now visit the replica of the Globe to watch any one of Shakespeare's famous plays being reenacted. Over on the left-hand side, we have a white building with 4 pillars. Vintners Place, headquarters for the Vintners Company, the old wine merchants of London. Now, folks, I've been told all wine, port and brandy, to get imported into the capital, must first be sent to that building for taste testing before it's allowed to go on sale. So the people who work in here, folks, they'll spend Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day, drinking alcohol. What a horrible job. Someone has to do it. Ahead of us, we've got the Southwark Road Bridge, opened in 1921 to ease congestion off the old London Bridge. But as we pass through Southwark Road Bridge here, folks, if you do take a look ahead of you and over to the right-hand side, we're going to see a brown brick house with red painted window frames. This is the Anchor Tavern at Bankside. This Thameside Tavern is over 400 years old. William Shakespeare, he would take his actors into the attic of the tavern to use it as a dressing room before performing their plays in the original Globe Theatre, which stood nearby in Park Street. For some strange reason, the original Globe didn't have any dressing rooms. There was only one other room in the Globe Theatre, apart from the stage and the spectator area. To gain entrance into the original Globe Theatre, a box would be passed around, and spectators, they would put their coins in the box for entry. The box, after the collection was finished, would be taken to a back room and locked, and this room was known as the box office. Ahead of us, we've got the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. As we pass through the bridge, folks, if you do take a look ahead of you and over to the right-hand side, we're going to see a real-life pirate ship. That's a fully working replica of Sir Francis Drake's galleon with the Golden Lion, and this lies in the St Mary, Overy, Whetstone. Sir Francis Drake was a privateer, a licensed pirate. He would sail around the world under the secret orders of Queen Elizabeth I. Upon his return, he brought his ship back completely full of Spanish gold. The gold was gifted to the Queen, where it was then used to clear the country's national debt. Newly knighted Sir Francis Drake at the Queen's Stairs in Deptford. The ship we see there today, it is a replica, but it has been around the world twice, taking the exact same route that Drake took. Ahead of us, we have London Bridge. A London Bridge has stood on, or very close to this site, for almost 2,000 years. The first one was built by the Romans, 43 AD. The bridge we see here today, this is the fourth one, opened by Queen Elizabeth II in 1973. The bridge previous to this one, the old London Bridge, that was sinking into the Thames mud. So it was taken down stone by stone and and sold to an American businessman, Robert McCulloch, for £1 million. That bridge was rebuilt over Lake Havasu at the edge of the Arizona desert in America as a tourist attraction.
Telling them he thought it's about
Now, just as we pass under London Bridge, folks, do take a look over to the left-hand side. We're going to see a tall white column on the golden top piece just in between the gap in the first two buildings there. And this is the monument to the Great Fire of London of 1666. It was designed by Sir Christopher Wren to resemble a wax candle. Now, if you